After reading Chapter 11, Security of Health Care Information System, I want to focus on the HIPAA security rule, which has three parts to it. So it has the technical safeguard, the physical safeguard, and the administrative safeguard. And so I want to focus on the technical safeguard aspect portion of it. And under the technical safeguard, there are five parts to it: access control, audit controls, integrity, person or entity authentication, and transmission security. So the two I want to focus on are access control and person or entity authentication. And so I'm really familiar with access control because where I work, my pharmacy, almost everything you do requires access control. And so the pharmacists, technicians, and pharmacy interns, all the licensed personnel, have access to the pharmacy's electronic health record system. And so how you can log into the system is by your fingerprint, or you type in your user ID. And it's pretty essential that each person logs in to their required station, because if a technician logs in, the system will only allow them to do technician work. And this is an example of access control. It pretty much grants access rights as specified in administrative safeguards. And so if you're a technician, you're not allowed to do final checks. You're not allowed to verify prescriptions because according to your fingerprint, the system will only allow you to do technician work. Whereas if a pharmacist logs into the system, they can do duties of a pharmacist. And because the system recognizes who signs in, such as a pharmacist, they'll allow them to do final checks or verifications of prescriptions. The second thing I want to talk about is person or entity authentication. And one example of this at my work, which happens all the time, is when you're ringing up a patient for a new prescription. And if the prescription is new, by state law, it's required for the pharmacist to give the patient a consultation. And so every time we scan the prescription and we're about to give it to the patient or sell to the patient, the system will stop us and it will require a pharmacist's fingerprint or login to ensure that the consultation was given properly by the pharmacist, and it's not just a intern or a technician or a cashier that's ringing up the patient and that's overriding or giving the consultation. It has to be the fingerprint of the pharmacist. And so this actually happens multiple times within a minute if it's very busy. So every new prescription, the system will require the pharmacist's fingerprint or identification. And this is to ensure that the consultation or the new rule is followed safely. And so these two topics, access control and authentication under the HIPAA security rule, are very common entities that are seen in pharmacies and hospitals nationally. And this is just a solid and safe way to ensure that certain persons are doing the rules and to ensure electronic patient health information, such as also known as EPI, is